What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Legacy Spotlight. I'm your host, Dwight Vick, owner and founder of Vicktory Life. Today, I am joined by two phenomenal standout athletes, multi-sport athletes from Gainesville High School. I'm joined by Trevor Moody, as his father says, Moody, and from the crowd anytime he hits a big shot. Played standout football player this past year, senior year, and also was a great point guard, combo guard for Gainesville as well, Gainesville High School, and his teammate and his brother, Noah Arterbery, also a two-sport athlete going to college for track and basketball, not football. I was joking earlier, guys, before we went live, that you guys are both going to play multiple sports. Noah's going to play multiple, not you, Trevor. But
Yeah.
how you guys doing, man?
I'm good. I'm
Yeah, I'm
good.
good.
Good. You good?
So,
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to you both as well, man. Just real quick before we jump into your careers, man. I'll start with you, Trevor. Is it hit you yet that you are done with high school? Like you out here and you're an adult now. Has it hit you yet?
no, honestly, it hasn't hit me. I just had my graduation party yesterday, and it still hasn't hit me. But I think it's gonna hit me. I think it's gonna hit me when I get to college.
Yeah, no doubt. What about you, Noah?
Similar to him, it hasn't really fully hit me yet. I haven't really fully soaked in everything. It's just kind of been a lot, especially the last month with signing and graduation and everything. So I'm sure it hit me in
Congrats.
college though.
Well, congratulations, you both. Noah, you are going to Waynesburg University to play uh, basketball, and you're going to do track, which is pretty amazing, man. And for those watching, you may not know Noah's family. He's a cousin. His mom and my wife are cousins, and him and Isaiah, my son, are cousins. And there are other cousins beside the Vicks. Everybody wants to ask about my other cousin. We got other cousins too, but Noah was great watching you play. And Trevor, you going to seeing you, as I mentioned, to play football, and seeing you right now in the 757. It's so funny because I'm from down there, but there are a lot of guys from Prince William and Northern Virginia at seeing you. I don't know if you saw, but I had on Hassan Ahmad on here from Battlefield. He was on here a couple of months ago, and they had a great basketball recruiting class this past year. And you're going for football, and maybe you might want to try something different in a few years. But there are a lot of guys from the 703 going to seeing you, man. Was that a factor in your choice choosing Christopher Newport?
I did see that CNU has a good recruiting type of thing, but honestly, it wasn't really. It didn't really impact my decision. What impacted my decision was basically just when I went down there for a visit, just the team aspect, the team, the coaches, everyone is just so friendly. The campus is a nice campus, and they just seem like they have a winning football program. And it's the food there is crazy. Everything is just I like it there.
Yeah. No, I mean that's good. And I saw that you took other visits. Before we dive into your high school career, your youth career, like you took visits to other schools as well, because I follow you on Twitter and I follow you on your father on Facebook. What other schools were you looking at?
I took a visit to Randolph-Macon, Salisbury University, Wheeling University. Let's see, and I believe those three were the main three in my choices that I visited. So yeah,
Yeah, seeing you just stood out.
right, right.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Noah, you are going to try a very big challenge. You're going to play multiple sports.
Mhm.
Um, I talked to your mom right after you guys lost in the playoffs because I wanted to call her and just tell you I thought you had a great senior season along with your teammate Noah. I thought you both were phenomenal, and I wanted to check and just let her know I saw the ending. It was a heartbreak loss to Potomac when your teammate Preston missed that bunny. It was right there in and out. We're going to talk about that a little later as far as that great season you guys had. But in regards to your recruitment, was that the deciding factor with Waynesburg?
Yeah, it was definitely a big part. I had as we were getting closer to like May and June, I had a few options where some schools it was just track, some schools it was just basketball. And I've always been a basketball player first, obviously, but I also love track. So the opportunity to be able to do both was very like big way to make my decision.
No doubt. Yeah. Track. What do you run? What do you run? My wife just loves track. She ran track in high school. Should have ran in college, and I follow it through her. Like, but I don't know it like I know basketball and football. So, what events or what are you going to run or compete in?
I do the 100 meter, which is like the shortest one, the 200, and then I also do the relay, the 4x1. Those are the three events I do.
So I'm gonna take it back to the barbershop when I was growing up. You know, when somebody came in that was nice, they would say like, "Oh, you fast, fast, or you fast? Are you fast, fast, or are you fast?
I'm
Fast,
fast.
fast meaning you are really fast."
I'm definitely fast, fast.
Okay. And with your recruitment, what other schools like in regards to what was the deciding factor? Like what are the schools you look at? Did you visit? You talk to? Was it an easy decision or was it just like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to go here because they were going to allow me to do both and it was comfortable. Um, just talk a little bit about that decision process.
It definitely was a really hard decision because I was looking in the Virginia Wesleyan University by Virginia Beach and a few other schools down there in the 757 area because I really enjoy that area. So that was like the main thing at first was to look for something down there. And the majority of that was just it was all track. Like everything was just track, track, track. And I do love to run track, but I was like, I can't just it would be hard to just like give away basketball that easy. So that was like the main thing for me was, you know, I mean I could do both. Like there's not many people who can do that. So I just had to jump on that
Yeah,
opportunity.
no doubt. Um, when you talk about seeing, I mean, excuse me, Waynesburg, how far is that from up here in Northern Virginia as far as like hours away from home and things like that? How far is it?
It's about 3.5 hours.
Okay. Did you know anybody up there? Did you like some people from Prince William and Fairfax County, Maryland, anybody you knew up there already?
I didn't really know too many people out there, but that's also like another thing to be kind of excited about is just a new fresh new start, new chapter,
Hmm.
new beginnings on everything. So yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you both this question. Did your mom, no, I'll stay with you. Did your mom and dad and stepdad, your grandmother, Donna, did anybody get in your ear? Because sometimes parents, we want to step back, but then we want to throw in our 2 cents. Did they say, I really think you should go here? I don't know, this is far, or what, I'm feeling this. Like, how'd that process go with your family?
I definitely like talked to everyone and heard them out. It was like almost everybody around me was like they all wanted me to do a certain thing, but they didn't want to like necessarily force me. So they would make it my decision, but they would give me strong feedback, like basically telling me you should do this without forcing me to in a way, because they let me make because it's obviously a big decision. So they left it up to me, but they like gave me as much knowledge as they can to help me make the right decision.
That's dope. That's great. What about you, Trevor? You got
Um,
great parents, and I talked to them after a few games here and there. Your dad rides for you. Got your own channel.
yeah,
I mean, you got great parents, man. What was their role in it? Was there anybody, uncles, anybody? Because seeing you, I remember I'm from down there. I remember seeing you was like, no, it was a community
mhm,
college, like grade. If you couldn't get to another school, and the next thing you know, I blink, and it's an up and coming university and great sports programs. Even when I know you play in football, but they won a national championship a few years ago in basketball. So they got a
yeah,
great, tradition. Rumor has it that in a few more years they're going to be trying to go D2.
yeah,
So I mean, matter of fact, I got a guy mentor played at Brentsville, Caleb Alexander hurt his knee. He's one of my guys. He's going to be going there too. That's my dude. Caleb's my
yeah.
guy.
I was just at the
So
field with him like a couple days ago.
yeah, that's my guy. Make sure you tell him I said what's up. But
Gotcha.
as far as you being my guy and your decision, how did your mom, dad, parents influence you? Did they offer 2 cents? Anybody else in your family?
I would say my mom, she was pretty much like I whatever I wanted to do, she would like ride with me. Same with my dad, but my dad was he was a little bit more Wheeling University, they was offering me a good amount. And my dad was kinda wanted me to go that route. But at the end of the day it's not it's like what we want, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I told them that, I was feeling seeing you and then you just hopped on that board.
That's what's up. Well, Trevor, let's stick with you. Let's go back. Let's go to where it all started. Because Noah moved down to Virginia. He was up in Maryland. You you've been a VA guy, and
Yeah.
a lot of people around Prince William knew about you as an athlete. Noah came down here and made a name for himself. He knew a lot of people down here because he would come down here and work out and play basketball. I saw him at the Freedom Center when he was a youngin. Your dad was coaching everybody up. But Trevor, you play youth ball around here. I was talking to your dad when I was saying to him how I thought you were a dynamic dual sport athlete, and he was like, "Man, he should." He agreed with me about your career. Take me back to when you first got into sports, man. At the time when you were younger, man. What youth league did you play in? And basketball, football. Let's reminisce a little bit. Let's go
Yeah.
back. When did it all
Yeah.
start?
So the very first sport I played soccer. And then from
Wow.
there, basketball, I played, the house league, GBA. And then from there, uh, Gainesville travel. I was always playing up with my brother, with Gainesville travel and even GBA. And then I I joined the Virginia Playmakers.
Yeah.
Yep. And then after that, I did this little team with is Coach Chris, who's one of my guys, and then
Chris Marshall.
Chris Marshall. That was
Yeah.
Playmakers, but there was another team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then let's see. After that, it was just higher level. But I played football. I did some Grizzlies when I was younger, flag football, tackle football when I was younger. Played in eighth grade, and then I played running back in eighth grade at Blue Run Middle School. Did not play football my freshman, sophomore, junior year, and then I was like, I always wanted to play football like my sophomore year. Like I told myself, like my sophomore year, like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna play football. And then I just never did it. I was just too stuck on basketball. And then I finally got to my senior year, and I was like, man, like it's my senior year. Like it's gonna be my last chance. Like I've been regretting not doing it, so I might as well just go ahead and give this a try. So I decided to, try for football, and then the rest was just, yeah.
Now, at the time, because you talked about your youth and you played football and basketball. You also did soccer, but there was nobody in the building at Gainesville telling you not to play both. It was just you not doing it, right?
Right,
Your
right.
decision. What? Because you ain't scared. It ain't like you sweet. You nice. Like, but what was it? Just because I know you and Noah grew up in a generation where more kids specialize. There's so many kids. I try to tell some of the parents and Prince William, like, yo, y'all don't realize when he was 10, 11, and 12, that dude used to return kicks, blah, 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 but now he's hooping. It's a lot of guys like that. Cam Courtney played with my son, Gainesville Travel, along with Binkowski. And then Binkowski and Cam just stuck with football. There are a lot of guys like that. They pick. So was it just it wasn't the coaches saying you couldn't do it. You just weren't going to do both until your senior year.
Um, Honestly, my senior year, I didn't even know I was gonna. I think it was during football season, like the summer. I think it was my junior year going into my sophomore year going into my junior year. I was just working, just in the gym, basketball, and that's really like all I had my mind set on. But now it wasn't that I was scared or nothing. It was just all me.
I got you. Yeah. Now Noah, obviously I know a lot about your story, but people when they see this, when I hear this, they don't know your story. You came from up north. You were a Maryland guy. Now you have a ton of family in VA, and you're familiar with VA.
Yeah.
But your mom and your sisters, you guys moved down here. When did that take place, and what did you know about our area when you got down here?
Like you said, I had a very large crowd here because I would always come down here with my dad and we would always be at the gym playing. So I knew a lot of
Mhm.
people down here. So it was kind of a smooth transition. It all started and we moved down here, I believe, seventh grade summer. And it was it was a smooth transition. Like I knew a lot of people down here. So it was just like I mean, I missed some of my friends out in Maryland, of course, and I still talk to some of them. But yeah, it wasn't that hard of a transition to make.
And were you when you were in Maryland? I would talk to your dad when I saw him. people don't know this. Your dad told me you were quite the football player. Um, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, see, yeah, like, we need to talk about it, man.
So
Your dad was like, yo, I'm telling you now, your dad's all enemies. I'm telling you, Vic, give him the rock and watch him cook. You know how your dad do. And I was like, hey, I'm not arguing with you, dog. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, on a serious note, take us back to when when you were playing football. Well, your younger days. How was it? Who'd you play for?
I used to play for a team called the Wolfpack in Maryland with a good quarterback. Now he has a bunch of offers. Denzel Gardner, really good
Play
quarterback.
with him?
Yeah, and he
Oh,
been always nice. He always used to
yeah.
run and throw and stuff. But yeah, I used to play then. I used to be a receiver and a running back because I'm like point guard and stuff. So I always been used to having the ball. So I even would return kicks sometimes. But they had me. The reason I even stopped playing was I believe it was like fifth or sixth grade. For some reason, I was playing linebacker for them, and I'm not like, I don't understand it. But I was going to make a tackle, and the other linebacker, who is actually built like a linebacker, I was going to make a tackle. He came up and hit me behind my hip, and that
Oh,
just kind of like
man.
scared me in a way. Plus, my
Mm.
like dad was a very big emphasis on the injuries at the time and all the concussion stuff, and he wanted me to solely focus on basketball. But when I was like younger, and even now, I was always told like from like certain coaches and stuff that try as much stuff as you can, so you don't know what you can flourish in, and you don't want to look back and be like, "Dang, I should have done this." And I'm sure
Mm.
Trevor can relate because he did that senior year. But yeah, when I was younger, I used to be like pretty nice at football.
Yeah. I mean, again, I knew it. I seen some clips, but your dad, you would tell me that because he would be down here when I was coaching with the Commonwealth Elite Warriors and the Mutiny, and then I would see him, and we knew some of the same people, and he would always tell me, I'm like, I know I got a social media presence, but I don't have any control over recruiting, whatever. He would just tell anybody who would listen, especially me, how good you were. But then track is not something you just do. My children ran track for the Mustangs for a handful of years, for about 3 or 4 years, and track practices I would go to them. Track meets are all day. I think one's going on right now. Track meets go from 7 a.m. to 10 o'clock. I couldn't do it. I mean, I would come back and say, "Yo, text me when they about to run." But track is also to me one of those sports where you have to be mentally locked in because you're competing against yourself and the other runners.
Yeah.
So, two-part question, man. Who got you into track? And on top of it, like, where did that love come from for track?
Um. Well, a big reason why I even started track was like people see me on the court. I like to run up and down and transition. And also when I was younger, I used to play football like most people would know. So they would be like, "Man, this guy's fast. We should get him out here on the track and see what he can do. See what he can run like against real track people." And at first, it was like even when I started at Gainesville, I could tell like some of the people on my team was like, "Oh, he's just a basketball player. He's not about to just come in here and run out." But at the trials for there, I came out. I was the fastest one at the school, pretty much off rip when I came
No, hold
there.
on. Whoa. Was Coven there yet? Was Coven?
Okay,
Okay,
he
hold
didn't
on
do it.
now, because Coven's my guy. I just posted about
He
Coven.
didn't do it.
He
He
got
didn't do it that year. He didn't come
okay.
out because this
Right.
started sophomore year, and he was battling an injury.
Okay.
But when I first initially came out, I was the fastest. He then came out. Now he has the 100-meter record, and I have the
Mhm.
200-meter record. So, I mean, you take who
Hey,
you
look
want.
at that. Look,
You can take who you want with that. But
no, I'm gonna take it. I'm looking. What's wrong with this? This is your legacy spotlight. We call that clarification. Letting everybody know, yeah, Trevor's nice, but don't forget about me either in the 200. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Clarify for him, Noah. Clarify. Thank you.
no, but Owen's a great running back and a great
Oh
person
yeah,
as
that's
well.
how I do. That's we all love him. That's my guy. Yeah.
But yeah,
So go ahead, continue. Yeah.
when I first was coming out here, first coming out to the track, I had to kind of earn everybody's respect because normally basketball and track is a weird combination. Like nobody
Yeah.
does that. It's normally
Yeah.
football players do it or
Hmm.
regular track guys. So I had to come out here and earn the respect. And once I did that, I just stuck with it, and then it became something I love because I like the individual aspect of it. Like if I have a bad race, I know it's my fault. It's not like basketball is a team sport. If I make a great pass and somebody like messes it up, I can like be like, dang, he should have made that. But if track, I can't blame somebody else for me running bad. So I like that part of it the most.
No doubt. Yeah. Anybody you watch? I mean, the Olympics are coming up this year, men's, women's. I mean, anybody you check for when it comes to track?
Noah Lyles, probably because his name is Noah,
Noah, yeah,
but also Colvin was actually a great influence on me for track because he done it since he was younger, and he's electric, he's fast, so he
yes,
was kind of the person I kind of looked up to in a way when it came to track and running, and I kind of like did all his workouts and tried to do what he was doing because I like to surround myself around people who I like would consider great people or people that have the same goals in mind as me. And obviously, he wants to be, in the NFL and have a great football career. So I like to surround myself around him. And he was one of the first persons I looked at on the track, like, dang, I need to do what he's doing because obviously it's working.
yeah. Real quick before I check back in with Trevor, I always ask this especially when I get kids on or young men or young women on that parents were athletes. Your mom, are you familiar with her game? When I moved up here, I was dating, your cousin Shanice, and we were dating. I was at Virginia Tech, and she was. We would come back, and she was playing at basketball at Stonewall before they changed it to Unity Reed. And your mom was known for being quick and fast like you, and her shoe game was ridiculous because she
Yeah.
had small feet. So like she had a pair of shoes for like every day of the week for a whole month. But on a serious note, did you know her as a hooper? I mean, you weren't born yet, but did she ever talk to you about basketball? Because she played point like you.
Yeah, I heard some good things about her. I heard we were like she was like you said, she was quick and fast and she was also kind of small. So I heard we had like similar play styles in the way we always like to run up and down the court.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, I was like, dang, I didn't know at first because she hasn't really like talked to me about it that much, but I've heard around the
yeah,
area.
yeah. She played hard. And then in basketball, anybody I know you're not done with that, but so far in your career, is there anybody now or over the years, whether through YouTube or if they're playing, you say, what, I definitely want to get home and check him or her out. Is there anybody on the court you really rock with and you took from or you modeled your game after on the court?
It's a bunch of guys for me. I've always just learned, especially from my dad since a young age, like you want to take bits and pieces from everybody else's game and kind of put it into yours to make you more complete. So, I mean, obviously, I've always been a big Kobe guy. I just love the way he, played every game, and he was very inspirational for me. Watching
Yeah,
him just play as hard as he did and also have a great mindset. And I feel like that's very important to have. That separates you from a lot of people who have the same skill as you, is having a great mentality. So he was a good one. I've always loved Kevin Durant. Um,
hmm.
and which is weird because we don't play nowhere near alike,
No way.
but I just like I like tall guys who can play like guards and stuff like because
Yeah,
I have a lack of respect for people who are just tall and not that skilled. But so people who are tall and actually are skilled, I like gravitate towards. So Kevin Durant
hmm.
was one. I love Westbrook. He's probably definitely one of my favorite players ever. Is Westbrook.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Westbrook, for some reason, because he just got that attitude, I feel like gets disrespected. One last question about, Maryland and Virginia. I didn't grow up here. I'm from the 757 from Tidewater. So it's the seven cities. It's Norfolk, Portsmouth, Hampton, Newport News, Virginia Beach, Suffolk, that whole thing. Then I moved up here 24 years ago, after being done with pro football. And, the DMV is the mecca for high school basketball. But even when I used to coach AAU, we go across that bridge and the Maryland dudes think, VA sweet. And we used to give them some work and they used to give us some work. Just set the record straight from your perspective, Noah. When you came down here to VA, or was it about even? There was talent here, talent there, or was it easier for you in VA? I know you came in middle school, but still, what's your
I
thoughts
would
on that?
say skill wise, for me, from my opinion, skill wise, I'm gonna go with Virginia all day long. I feel like Maryland is more heavily on the football side, but they play physical, they play hard. Not saying that we don't, because there's some people who play physical out here as well. But if I had to compare to both, it both was pretty competitive. Like the whole entire DMV, you have to be like
Mhm.
a dog out here if you want to
Yeah,
accomplish something. So I would say physical wise, Maryland would be better, but skill wise, there's some great players out here in Virginia.
no question. Thank you for saying that. I learned that. Trevor, when you look at your mom and dad, anybody in your family that influenced you? We talked about your decision making process, but obviously you come from a great family. Anybody in your family play sports that you were like, oh, okay, like was your dad? I know your dad. I see him with his fraternity stuff and his videos. He always, I don't know if y'all moved there because it matches his fraternity colors or what, but I mean, he reps that, but he also reps his family. Did him or your mom play sports? I don't know their story. Like anybody with anything with that?
Yeah, my dad is actually a big tennis guy. He's actually playing tennis right now at the courts.
Really?
Yeah,
Tennis?
yep.
I
He's
never would have known that. That's amazing.
yep. He played tennis in college too at Virginia State. And my mom, she just did like track in high school. She wasn't really like an athlete like that, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. What about for you? We'll go to basketball first. I know you're doing football and seeing you, but you know, you were very good in basketball. Um, anybody you check for? Same question I asked Noah, like, you know, oh yo, Tuesday at 7, I gotta check out my man, or like I always been a fan of this person or this person influenced me. Who checks that box for you?
I would definitely say John Morant. Just
Ooh,
his
forgot
vibe.
about him. Oh my
Yeah,
God. We haven't seen him play. Yes. He's
yeah,
been
yeah,
injured.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just his.
The
I don't know.
basketball part, not the toy guns and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, just strictly basketball.
Yeah.
John Morant, I would say. I love the way Ant has been playing. Kyrie, those are pretty much like my top three right there.
Yeah. So you said John Morant, Kyrie, and who else?
And Anthony Edwards.
Oh, I love all three. And I'm glad you brought up John Morant. I was talking to my son and a couple of the kids the other day at the house that it's funny because Anthony Edwards is they're pushing for him to be part of that group, Luca, Tatum, and them, and be the face of the league. But I think we forgot because of the injury and then also the suspension. John Morant is that dude, and I'm hoping he gets healthy and comes back. I love watching him in college at Murray State.
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards, though, to me is just fun to watch. He's got
yeah.
that smile, charisma, but he's also a dog. Speaking of dog, so football always said, because that was my sport, even though I played football and basketball, to me, football, you have to have a dog mentality. You just can't play and be out there. You can't be soft, you know, and basketball too, but football, you know, it's a sport like boxing and hockey. Even in practice, you can get injured on any play.
Right.
Who do you check for, or who do you watch, or who have you watched in your time, your career that checks that box for you as far as yo, this guy right here is special, or I'm always going to have him. I know y'all don't do posters no more, but this guy is somebody I'm going to make sure I have on my phone or watch on YouTube. So, like, who's that guy?
I would say somebody I've been watching pretty much like all my life. I would go on YouTube, watch his highlights. Saquon Barkley. Um, yeah,
Okay.
Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. Those they kind of play the same, but those are two. I know they're running backs and all, but I really used to really watch on Saquon Barkley and like how he
Yeah.
plays and like that.
Yeah. Now, I've been dying to ask you this question. I wouldn't ask you after a Patriot Gainesville game because I ain't the place to ask you this. So if I saw you at the promenade, you know, with your boys, I ain't gonna bother you. I'm gonna just give you a head nod, dap you up. But I'm gonna ask you this now in your legacy spotlight. Um, when it came to football and playing for Gainesville, I remember I was on the sideline when y'all played Patriot, and you were dynamic. I was some of the people standing with me. I said, "Man, this dude Trevor is good." Like I watched, you know, because the fall basketball's not going on, so I would watch you guys play on the NFHS network, and I said, "Man, this dude Trevor gets touches, man." Like did you ever go to the coaches and be like, yo, respectfully, get me the ball? Because y'all had before Kobe got injured, the quarterback's nice. Y'all were a really good team, you know, right there with Battlefield and Patriot. But I know you're not a selfish player, but did you kind of get in your head like, yo, I could really score 4 touchdowns tonight if they let me get it? Did you ever did you ever go to the coaches and say that? Or like not say
No,
that, but like, yo,
yeah,
I got an advantage right here. Like, look for me.
yeah. I mean, I would. There'd be some plays, I would be, I think I would be, open and everything like that. But I feel like the quarterback, Colin, he has like, a big job being the QB and everything like that. And so like he's gonna miss people and things like that. But now I never went to like the coach and told him like give me the ball or something like that. That's just not the type of guy I am, And I'm new, so I don't really have motion like that to like just say like,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, one thing I like about you, and I notice about you, and this is again your legacy spotlight. So we are honest on this show. I watch you, and I'm a therapist. You guys see the plaques behind me. So when I'm not running my mouth doing my pod, I'm helping people in Northern Virginia, DC, and Maryland. I'm a licensed mental health therapist, and I enjoy helping young men and women, achieve their goals and overcome issues. So I'm good at reading body language. I'm good at reading people. I've coached. I've been around football and basketball a long time. Trevor, you kind of like how can I say it? You a dog, but you also got an attitude. You got I don't want to say anger management. You need to see me for a session, but you got a little bit of a chip. Like you walk, you short, but you ain't little. You kind of do like this a little. I seen you in timeouts and everything.
Yeah,
Um, True or false? You got an edge to you. Look at Noah laughing. Do you got an edge?
a little bit, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So this is not even meant to be corny, but like when the lights come on, football or basketball, is there like because some people respond differently. Are you one of those guys like the switch comes on, I'm locked in, I don't like nobody out here, or you just like it's game time, I'm gonna play hard, but it ain't that serious. Like because there are guys that think like that. What are you, or who are you? Excuse me, which one?
I would say when it's game time, especially in football, you gotta change your mindset to like that friendly mindset because it's either like if you running with the ball, it's either like you run through somebody or you get ran over. So you just gotta like
Mm,
you really gotta switch your mentality. Same for basketball too. You don't want to play like even when I'm playing against like Battlefield, like yeah, those are my friends, like those are my boys, but like you gotta win the game. So.
mm. Mm. All right. So let's talk about that. Let's stay on the Battlefield Patriots, Cedar Run District stuff because you guys I interviewed you, Coach Powers, and Preston, the Prince County Media Day, and you guys had goals. You were like, yeah, we want to win the district. We know it goes through Patriot, but we right there with them, which y'all were. Y'all were right behind them, and then the regional final, it was a game going into the fourth. But I know y'all weren't concerned about just more so beating them and Battlefield. Y'all are about establishing a legacy for the people behind y'all at Gainesville to follow, which was talking basketball. Um, Going into that, there were games I remember seeing you guys both play together, play very well. But going into this past season, your senior year, what was the mindset from you both as being leaders and guys, very experienced players going into this season? Because you guys had a great season. What was the mindset?
I would say the mindset, at least for the seniors like me and Noah, it's just we got to be better than we were in the last coming season. We gotta have a better record. We gotta like beat these schools like Battlefield and Patriot, and I think in practices we gotta have better practices also like for that year. So I just felt like that.
What about you, Noah?
For me, it was like we had to earn people's respect. Obviously we lost a very important part of our team the year prior, who was our main guy, main scorer. So I didn't want people to be like, oh, they lost Gainesville lost him. They're not gonna be good. Like I still thought we had talent. We had guys like myself, Trevor, Preston. We had great players still there. So I thought we could be just as good as anybody in our area. And it started the first day, and we had to. And with me and Trevor being some of the leaders, we had to kind of relay that message to the rest of the team. Like we need to go out here and earn guys' respect.
Yeah. And let's touch on Grant real quick. Grant is a guy I've known since he was 6 years old. I used to coach against him in flag football at the Grizzly League. I remember one time I was coaching against him. Ryan Keenan was on the team, Jaden Ross, and we went to a 5 overtime game and lost. And I've known him. I coached him 4 years in AAU before he left to go play with Nova Cavs. Now he's playing with Isaiah in New World. He's got 4 D1 offers. Grant was great to coach. His game has evolved, but when you see a guy like Grant, who could have came back, but I know you guys love him and y'all not hating, but when you see him achieving his dream and things are going well for him, what is that like? When you see that, like, what do you think? Like, no, I'll start with you. Like, you're like, yo, y'all check in with him still? Do y'all see him? Do y'all talk to him? No, I'll go with you first.
Yeah, we still check into him from time to time. I'm actually very proud and happy for him for he's flourishing in this situation. I thought that was a great move for him to make. I didn't really look at it like, oh, he's leaving us, he's betraying. Like that's immature. Like everybody's gonna do what's best for them, and I'm proud
Mm,
to see him get the success he's getting now because he's one of the people where I can say he earned it. Like it was nice. I was with him in the gym. Like he truly like is dedicated and works what everything
Yeah.
he gets, he earns. So I respect him, and he's probably one of the greatest shooters I ever even seen.
Let's
But
talk about it.
he's
Yes, he is. Yeah.
he's one of the I never seen nothing like it. Sometimes I'll just drive to the basket and close my eyes and just he'll be there and he'll make the three. I wouldn't even. I'm yeah, it's
No
crazy.
doubt. No
And on
doubt.
top of that, he's a great person as well. So yeah, I'm happy for
Yeah.
him.
I'm happy he can dunk now. I used to tell him, like, dude, you 6'7", dog, and I'm getting above the rim. Man, I'm an old guy. Man, shut up, coach. But like Trevor, your thoughts on your teammate, Grant.
Yeah, that's my boy right there. I've been rocking with Grant since we was like sandbox. He lives right across the street from me, so I'm pretty
Mhm.
much seeing him now that he's done with school and all that. I'm basically like seeing him a lot more often. And yeah, but I just remember we used to walk to One Life. We used to walk
Ah,
and then hoop at One Life. We used to play one-on-ones. I remember I used to
yeah.
like trash talk him and stuff like that, and he'd always just I don't know how he shoots, how he does. He just I'll be 100% contested in his face. And
It's
my
crazy.
face, I'm like, bro,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's it's crazy.
Now I want to talk about a game. I want to talk about this game because Noah, Trevor, I seen you talk. You quiet. You talk quiet trash talk. You got to pay attention, Trevor. I see you talk. You accidentally bump into somebody. You bump into him going to the bench like it was an accident. Noah, yeah, I pay attention. I got 4 eyes for a reason. Noah is more reserved. He more gets his team going. He's a leader. Both y'all lead in different ways. But I got notes here. I take notes when I'm. That's why I got the pen or the pencil when people I'm interviewing, even if I know their story or if I don't know everything. And I remember you guys mentioned Battlefield. You guys beat them at Battlefield, and then all of a sudden I look on the gram and y'all coming out smoking on Battlefield. Noah leading the way. Noah leading the way, man. Look, y'all came in there and jumped on them something fierce. And I'm not trying to get no hot takes because y'all are all graduate. That game was over, but at the same time, we're gonna reflect a little bit. It was a satisfying feeling because you guys made it known. I mean, y'all jumped on them. It was crazy. That wasn't the highlight of your season. But at the same time, take me back. Why were y'all so, was it the crowd, the den that was talking? Because I know about the den and what they do. And that's kind of like how it is, different schools. Everybody up here in Northern Virginia has the crowds, but no, I'll start with you since you led the crowd. You were in the front of the video.
Yeah,
What was going on? Because I said I had to. Look, my like, hold on, is that Cubs? Let's see. Said no.
well,
Yeah. What was that?
well,
Just take me back to that night.
first off, we know how Patriot gets when they have their moment, so
Yep.
we wanna have our moment too and
Yep.
enjoy it. But not for us. I would say that was a big statement game for us because like the year prior, we can never beat Battlefield, we can never beat Patriot. They were bigger than us. They out physicaled us. So when we went to their house and beat them, we had some of our fans there to support, and it was like a packed house. So maybe we just beat them. We were feeling ourselves a little bit. It was like a statement game, and we were just hyped. We was excited. It was like we finally beat them. So yeah, and me and Trevor were guys that we used to be there. So we took that game a little bit more personally, because especially me, because like first of all, they had me, Trevor, and Grant on on the freshman team at one
Oh
point.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's right.
So I'm
Yeah.
looking at that like, okay, watch this. So that's what it
Mm.
was. It was kind of like a statement game to make.
Yeah, yeah, it was interesting because I watched that game and I watched the highlights. It's actually for those watching this. If you go to Noah's Twitter page, it's on there. It's pinned up the top, man. I actually trying to find a way to record it and put it on my Vicktory Life account because you in your bag, you hitting threes, driving, dropping dimes. That was a great game for you. You had other great games. Trevor, again, just beating Battle. I know y'all beat him what 3 times last year, right?
I think it was
Um,
twice because we lost the first
Twice.
Yes,
one.
Y'all
yeah.
lost the first one, which surprised. Yeah, y'all lost the first. Y'all beat them twice, 2-1. Um, take us back. Like, when you were there that night and y'all were walking out the building and y'all were all together, had on the basketball sweatsuits. Like,
Yeah.
was that a statement game? Was that an important game, a legacy game, or just something y'all knew y'all could do?
Nah, I think it was a very important game. Because like you guys said, we lost to them. We really like we couldn't beat them. in the past. And then, one of our goals was to beat Battlefield. That first game against Battlefield, we actually lost. And that's a game like everybody knew that like after that game, we knew we could beat them. And then, yeah, we come over to Battlefield. They have a good little crowd. We've got some people from our school, and we just come out the game just with high energy, high intensity, and we just like landed on them, and then they just really couldn't come
Yeah,
back.
yeah, man. Y'all, yeah, that was a great game. Speaking of that, I want to ask you this. I'll stick with you, Trevor, and this is just me being nosy for your legacy spotlight. This is a good question. Everybody has a night, even people who aren't great. When you can't miss. So you're like, yo, when I look back, when I'm done playing, seeing you, if I have a chance to play in the league, this is the game in high school where I was in my bag. I want you to give me one in football and in basketball. When you say in football, obviously it's your senior year, but give me both sports, a game where you're like, yo, Mr. Vick, or like whoever. I'm talking about you in your dorm and you in your apartment and you and your roommates arguing like, yo, you couldn't, what? Hey, yo, watch this. And you put the phone on the fire stick and you say, this the game right here where I was in my bag. For football, which one was it? And for basketball, which one was
For basketball, it was definitely that Battlefield game. I just came out. Uh, a lot of people don't really see me as a shooter. That game, I just really came out. I was hitting threes. I think I ended up having like 24, 25 points that game. That was Battlefield for basketball. And for football, I would say the first game of the season, either the first game of the season or against Woodbridge. But first game of the season, I came out. I had 2 touchdowns. Had like an extra point. I had like 100+ yards and 2 touchdowns. That my first.
it?
Yeah.
Don't act like you don't remember. You remember. I saw it. You're like,
Yeah.
I think no, and you know what? Stand on business. You did. I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of COVID and I thought y'all were talented and I thought y'all had a great team, man. Really, really I think I saw going into that season this past year, y'all had a Prince William County record, 167 people tried out for varsity football. That's
Yeah.
insane. So okay, Noah, same questions. And switch football for track. Is there a track meet where you just, was it the record setting meet? Was it something where you were like, yo, I just felt good that morning. I knew I could beat anybody. And for basketball, which game was it? Pick which one to start off with.
I'm gonna start with basketball. For me, I would say it's a lot of good ones, a lot of memories. But I like my I'm gonna go with the first game of the year for against Woodbridge. That was a
I saw
game
that.
where, like, I started out. I love getting and ones, and I love like that, like hypes the crowd up. That like feeds my adrenaline. I just felt like I was just like invincible when I was getting them and ones, and like I just felt like I was on top. I came out. That's the first game of the season, senior year. Wanted to make a statement, show that I'm like here this year. So I will go with that one for basketball. For track, I will go with the region meet. It was at Stafford, where that was the meet where I broke the school record for the 200. Initially set by Coven. And that was like a great thing for me because nobody would have thought I would have done that. Like nobody would have thought a basketball player would be coming onto the track and having a school record. So that was like a big thing for me, which I'm not gonna say I knew I could have, but I believed in myself that I could have if I put the work in. So once I finally did that, and then that earned me also a berth at the state meet.
Yep,
So that was like probably my best meet of the year when I did that.
no doubt. You guys have both had great high school careers, and you're not going to realize this till you get older like me, but you'll look back and realize, man, like very few people are in the position where you guys are, where you go on to college and people know your name in Prince William and other areas. They're the kids behind you know the legacy you left for the school you're coming from, Gainesville. But at the same time, we all know as I'm a former athlete, you guys are current athletes, practice is where it starts. So I want to get into some fun. I asked you guys this, on Princeton County Media Day, and Coach Powers talked about how he gets in there and shows stuff. But that's Coach talking. I want to hear the stories. Like, Noah, did you and Trevor ever get put on like different odd teams? Did y'all ever go at it? Was there anybody who was like, yo, okay, don't blow the whistle. I'm locking him up. He ain't gonna score me. Give me some practice battles. Because practice, I mean, I played years ago, but like that's when it gets real fun and at times heated. Was Noah? Was it a time when you and Noah, even though Trevor's your brother, we ain't trying to rekindle something with that, that got messy. But or there was it Sean? Were there other stories where y'all like was it like, oh yeah, was that one practice, man? Like we was going this red versus white, and Trevor was talking, and I had to kind of shut him up, and then we threw the ball at each. I don't know. I won't dare. Tell me, Noah, is there any practices you remember? How were practices? How was it?
Well, most of our practices throughout both of our careers, like usually me and Trevor would be on opposite teams because
Oh,
we were the only guys who could really match up with each other
yeah.
athletically because
Mm-hmm.
we both are the more superior athletes on the team. So we would usually be separated. But it never was really a practice where us two would be getting at it that bad. Like we would be pushing each other and going hard to make each other better, but it was never like, oh, like it was never like too intense between us two. Now I'm sure it was look, he's looking no, so I remember it was a bunch of like physical moments. I remember I'm sure he got in it with Preston a couple times.
Mm.
Lucas, there's a lot of people where
Oh yeah, Lucas.
it would be a lot of practices where I remember one practice Trevor and Lucas got into it. Trevor started hitting threes, talking mess, like, oh
Oh,
yeah, who
he
can't
was
shoot?
who's hitting threes and who was guarding him?
No, Trevor was hitting threes in him, and he would be talking bad to him, like, yeah, who's not a shooter? Da da da.
Talking to who? Not Noah. Talk. Who's he talking to?
Lucas.
Lucas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
Then Lucas would try to come back and hit a three as well. But those are funny battles in practice, and especially with Preston. He's kind of tall. He would be liking to block everybody's shot. So sometimes if me or Trevor would go finish on him, we're gonna let him know about it. And then
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, those were the main battles I would say in
What
practice.
about you, Trevor? You remember that? You remember? Because I knew you had an edge, but I'm not allowed in practices, and I wouldn't want to come anywhere. That's y'all time. But you
Yeah.
remember that? Like
Yeah, I
yeah.
remember yeah, Lucas, that's my guy. I would always try to get under his skin, but it's at the end of the day it's all love, just making him better and things like that. But yeah, those were some fun times, and I felt like it got heated with what was the one part? It was with like I think it was Preston. I think it was Preston and me. Sometimes we just be like pushing each other or something like that. Um, but yeah, yeah.
No, it's all good, man. And that happens, man. That's probably one of the things I miss the most is the competition. Like, competition is a great thing. You guys are going to see that again at this next level because it only intensifies. But I know you guys are going to respond the right way. I want to ask you guys a personal question. It's an assessment on each other's game, and just stick to basketball since y'all other sport is different from the other ones. Trevor, when you look at Noah, man, you guys have grown up together. That's your brother. You guys had a great run together, set a lot of marks at Gainesville. When you look at his game, what do you admire about him as a player and as a person? What do you appreciate about him as a player and a person?
I would say he's always 100% when it comes to like his athleticism, his speed, and everything. When he steps on the court, he's always the fastest person on the court. He's hustling, diving on the ground. Like I'm just like bro. He's a good leader on the court.
Yes.
Getting people in the right positions and things like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, just great guy.
Yeah. Noah, same question regarding Trevor. When you look at his game and just him overall, like, what do you admire and respect about it?
I respect his mindset and his hustle. Like no matter who we would play, it could be one of the top ranked players or whatever their name was, he would go in. And I feel like we kind of rubbed off each other in a way. Like we both were great leaders, but we were great leaders in different ways. He more so led by example, like hustling. He was 9 times out of 10, he's guarding the best player, no matter if he's our height, if he's 6'5", he's whatever. He would be on him, and we helped each other handle the ball as well because we were in the backcourt together. So every game I knew like I had somebody that was gonna be a dog and gonna fight as hard as me. So I respected that. Like every game I went into, I knew I could be comfortable because I knew I had somebody else that would come play just as hard as me, if not harder. And
Yeah,
yeah, I respected that about him.
no doubt. And a few more questions and about your careers, and then we'll move on to closing this thing out. But I do want to ask you, Noah, I'll start with you. The Cedar Run District, I didn't know this until I moved up here 20 years ago because I was biased. I was a 757 guy. The Tidewater area has so many great players from Plexico Burris, Allen Iverson, my cousin Mike. I mean, it's years, but Prince William has a lot of great basketball and football players too. The Cedar Run District, I was talking to Coach Sherman Rivers because I know a lot of the coaches in the district. About 3 years ago, the Cedar Run District this is for right before Gainesville got built, had 4 or 5 teams in its top 10 in the state. John Champ, Battlefield, Patriot, Potomac. It was crazy. Not Cedar Run, Potomac, but Prince William, I should say, not just Cedar Run, but Prince William. But when you look around the district, you have the teams you guys are competing with in battle for the Patriot, Osborne, with Trey Terrell and Tavion. Well, there's some games. No, I'll start with you. We're like, okay. And again, this ain't about like being personal. This is just about competition. Where there games you're like, yo, okay, this guy, I respect him as a player. I got to strap it up tight because I'm gonna go at him. He's gonna go at me. Was there any player or two in the district that you were like, okay, I got to let people know that I'm here too, or we right here? Like anybody, Osborne, Patriot, Gainesville, John Champ, before they left, Freedom, in your career, not just last year, no, but in your career on the basketball court.
There was a couple of good players I respected and wanted to compete as real hard against. I would start off with Nazir, from Patriot a couple years
Oh,
ago.
Nasir, Nas, yeah.
Yeah, he was another one similar to like a guy like Trevor. He would be one of the hardest hustlers on the court. He would pick me up 94 feet. Always had to look around and see where he was at, so make sure I'm handling the ball right. And I liked his energy. I liked the way he led that Patriot squad those few years. He was
Mm-hmm.
one. Um, Mahad would be another one.
My God, thank you.
He's
Flowers to
probably
my heart. That's my
out of
dude.
all the people that I guarded, he's up there with as far as handling the ball and being shifty. Like
Facts.
he just moves different than a lot of people, and he's not that tall, so it's like, dang, which way is he going? So everywhere I
You ain't
look,
son him. Did you son him right? But you're right
uh,
though. He was quick. He was shifty.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
real shifty. Tavion has been a great guard the whole year. Osborne, especially that last year, being the go-to guy,
Mm-hmm.
helping, trying to lead them and carry them.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned a lot of guards, but there was also Tay Barbers. I mean, we all know about him. Great player.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, those are the main guys
No,
every
that's
night.
good. It's a good list. That's what I mean. Like, it's crazy, man, because again, I've been living up here now 24 years, but every year there's some kids coming up behind y'all right now that I'm gonna have on that we're gonna talk about. Like, there's some talent here in Prince William, man. I'm gonna stand on that. Trevor, same question, man. You took pride in being a defensive specialist. I remember Coach Powers, he went on record saying he felt you and Noah were the best defensive tandem in not only the district, but in the DMV. And I was like, boy, that's some strong Kool-Aid. But at the same time, Trevor, you and Noah both did. Y'all locked in. You guys are you quick, and y'all kind of were like. I mean, it was actually really nice to see you guys locked in. Y'all played on one accord. But when you take pride in defense, people gonna come at you. So there's some guards again, like I asked Noah, that or even players. It ain't gotta be guards that you were like, yo, if I'm switched on him, it don't matter. I can stay with him, or he's good. I really can't wait to play him. I know it's a team game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Tay over at Patriot. He's like he's a Patriot got other great players like Vick, Dillard, and Dez, and
Yeah, no doubt.
but just guarding Tay because he got all the all the hype and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just like a lot of eyes on him. So it's like if I'm
Mm-hmm.
guarding him, then that means like eyes are on me too. So it gives me like motivation to like work harder to make sure like he doesn't score. He's hit some deep threes when I'm like
Okay.
contested. I'm like, bro, like all right, but yeah, he's a humble dude. And then I would say playing against Haas, Battlefield,
I got
Yeah, he's a great player. Very
tough,
humble, hard worker.
tough. Yes.
Who else? Like Noah said, Mahad, great shifty player. I used to play. He was on my team a couple years ago with like Gainesville Travel and stuff like that. So he's always been a
Love
great player.
Mahat. Thank you for both giving him his flowers. Kid
Yeah.
was special. Kid was special. He was quick. He was nice.
And last one, just like Noah said, Tavion from Osborne. He's the main player over there. He works hard. Um, and I think that's pretty much it.
Now, this is a perfect segue to kind of wrap up your career. I talked to Coach Powers right after you guys played Patriot in the regional final. And it was a game. It was close. And I was like, wow. And I knew it. I knew it going into that game. Because you play a team more than once, and you guys were seniors, and y'all were used to playing Zay and Tay and Desmond, and y'all right down the street, and you know each other. A lot of y'all know each other for years, and that was a game I knew would be tough. Just from a neutral standpoint, watching and also being a father of a kid on Patriot. And Noah, you and I told you as you walked to the locker room, we had some words, good words, and I told you I love you and man, keep your head up, man. Y'all can play Potomac, and they have a dynamic guard in Guzman. You guys didn't really see him that much because y'all didn't really play Potomac until that year. And they were the one seed on that side, and Potomac has a rich tradition. They've been a standard in not just Prince William but Virginia for 30 plus years, state championships, regional finals, district tournaments. And I talked to Coach Prowse after I talked to and I stopped him and I said, I just want to tell you, man, great job coaching. Man, you guys I think y'all can see Patriot again. And he was a little disappointed. Of course, nobody wants to really talk after the loss, but he was talking to me. It was all love, but he was saying that it was tough because you guys had Potomac on the road. And I said, listen, y'all can, and Anthony Gill's my dude. And they had TJ Bethea, who had a great career. I thought that was a tough matchup for Potomac because you guys are a unique backcourt, and then you have Preston, who had a great year last year too. Um, when you look at that game, you guys were so close. And it was one of those games, man. Y'all left it all on the court. When you look back at that game and you talk about going into the road and what losing, no one wants to reflect on the loss, but when you play as hard as you guys did, Trevor, I'll start with you. Nobody likes moral victories, but at the same time, I mean, it was like, man, what could have been if you won that game, right? What do you think that says for the kind of mindset you guys had as players, and also what it means for Gainesville basketball?
I think getting that far in the first place, I think that was we wish we could have won that game, everything like that. But getting that far, I think it gave the juniors and the younger players, give them hope for next season because if they see us make it far, then they're gonna want to make it farther than we did this year. So I think it's just motivation for the next group of guys to just come in and do what they do. But yeah, it was a tough loss, and yeah, I didn't have the best game, but it happens. So yeah.
Only one team can win it though. When it's all said and done, only one team wins it. In our division, it was South Lakes. I mean, so everybody has a game. I don't even remember you having a bad game. I just remember, I had it on my phone. I was watching it, and I was like, man, I told everybody this was going to be a game, man, because I had a lot of respect for y'all. I mean, I watched you guys grow, and I thought y'all were kind of at that point in the season where y'all were starting to come together. You know what I mean? Like in basketball, you had that rhythm, and I was like, man. I told Zay and other people, I said I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gainesville again. But no, when you look back at that game, same type of question, same deal. When you look about, even though it was what, a 1 point loss,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Right?
one.
Yeah, 1 point. Like at the same time, you know, your career ends and it's tough for everybody. But when you look back on that moment, even though it was a tough loss for Gainesville basketball, the next step is building on that. And also, when you look back on that, what did it do for you as far as your legacy? Not the loss, but the legacy for Gainesville basketball.
Um, Obviously at the time, it was very disappointing. It was a hard loss, but now looking at it, you can look back at from the time me and Trevor walked in the building, we've improved every season as individuals and as a team. Like we made it farther than the year prior. So just getting that far, like Trevor said, that was a great accomplishment in itself. And like you sometimes you gotta live with the results, especially like we prepared the whole week for that game. Like we were all locked in. We all knew I knew coming in I had a really tough assignment with Kenny. He's a real good point guard. Trevor had a good assignment too with the Peter, the shooter, and TJ is a really good player as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we both had tough matchups coming in, and like Trevor said, we might have not had the game we wanted as players, but it's the playoffs. Like, it's not going to be like the regular season 70 to 80 point games no more. Like, all these possessions matter, and it was a real hard, like, chippy game going back and forth. I think we were only in the 50s. Like, I think it was like 56, 55 or something like that. And it was
Mm-hmm.
very low scoring. So that just shows, like, every possession matters. So looking back at it, you
Yeah.
just learn that from there. And hopefully that sets some motivation for next year for all the juniors and stuff to be like, wow, we know what it feels like to get here. So now we want to get over this hump next year.
No doubt. Anybody else before we talk about the last segment, your college career is upcoming. Anybody at Gainesville? I know kids move around, and you never know. But any kids, I should be on the lookout as a media guy and other people, fans at Gainesville. I know y'all had that talented freshman. Preston is poised to be a Player of the Year candidate. I mean, I think against Unity Reed one time he had like 20-something rebounds or something crazy. I mean, Preston is a dog, and he plays with a chip, and I mean, I think he might be he's not really a big, but he's like going to be the tallest guy in the district. But a lot of us know about Preston. But is anybody else at Gainesville that we should keep an eye on, up and coming players?
I would say Lucas Parks. He's gonna have to develop as a leader, being that guard.
Mm-hmm.
Him, Cam, of course, and then Preston. Also, I think they're gonna come out here.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Trevor? Same group, same guys? I mean, Noah, same guys?
Obviously Preston, we know he's going to be have a great season. Hopefully, Lucas takes that next. I thought he had a good season last year, but hopefully he takes that next step and he's going to have to be more of a primary ball handler, especially with us two leaving. So I'm excited to see what that looks like for him. Obviously, Cam, great athlete, and his IQ was really good to me for a freshman. Like that impressed me for him being a freshman, stepping in. Like that's not really easy, and he was good and learned everything on the fly. He's a really good IQ player.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the main guys to look for, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone jumps on the radar and has a great season as well.
Yeah, yeah. Football though, real quick, Trevor. I've been telling everybody I've never been afraid of putting stuff out there. I told everybody I think Colvin's going to rush for over 1,900 plus yards. You're talking about three of my favorite backs right now in the state, especially in Northern Virginia. I know about the kid landing Hunter Forest Park. I don't see him as much, but I feel like Jackson McCarter and Colvin are must-see TV. And then, if Jeffrey Overton Jr. was still here in Prince William, it's definitely must-see TV, but he's in Hayfield. We know about Colvin. God knows we do. That's my dude. And he's probably working out right now. Um, but anybody else on the field? I like y'all quarterback. Didn't he come back?
Colin, yeah, he's a
The,
yeah.
he's a
I would
senior, the
say
quarterback.
yeah, the quarterback.
Yeah.
I would say yeah, him. I see him having a pretty good season. He had a great season prior season, and I also say I've heard this young one. He young Vinny. He's might have a pretty good season. Let's see.
What position he play? What position he play?
He's going to be playing receiver and
Okay.
maybe playing defense.
Mhm.
And then we got Coven, of course. Got JT. He's going to be playing receiver. And a few more other guys, but yeah.
Real quick, I'm looking for a hot take now, Trevor. Is this the year Gainesville beats Patriot and Battlefield? Do they win the district? Because they've been knocking on the door. I was on the sideline for that big showcase game, and you had a touchdown on the jet sweep, but at that moment it had gotten got in the hand. See, I remember all that stuff. And I was like, wow, I thought this was going to be like that game where it goes into double overtime, but Jackson McCarter got hot. Will this be the year that Battlefield and Patriot relinquish the owner of the Cedar Run District title in football? Do you think this can happen?
This the year. This the year right
Okay.
here.
Didn't even hesitate. This the year. Didn't even hesitate. I love it. I love it. And we almost here, believe it or not. I know it's only June, but we're going to blink. You guys going to be moving on, and it's going to be fall. With that being said, let's wrap up with talking college real quick. Trevor, you're going to senior as we talked about to start the show. When do you report? What do you have you playing? What are the coaches saying about your future there?
August 14th is when camp starts, so I'm probably gonna be there August 13th, maybe the 12th or 13th. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing receiver. Pretty sure I'm gonna be playing the slot receiver and stuff like that. But what the coach has been telling me, they like what they seen my high school season, and yeah, I just been working, going to the field, at the gym, lifting, going on runs, and just staying consistent.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And I mean, this might be a tough question. I don't know why I'm asking. I'm asking anyway. Sometimes when people see this, they want to know, do you know what you want to study, major in, or you're not yet?
Yeah, so I want to do something around like the IT. So I'm going to study information science technology.
Nice. Nice. You're not going to be hacking into nobody's accounts now, are you?
No.
I had a client that did that, man. But no, that's dope. That's really good, man. Always curious of what guys going to major in. But that's nice. Congrats to you again. And Noah, same kind of deal, same question. We talk about college and when you got to report, and I don't know which one starts first. So how's that work?
So I have to report pretty much similar time to Trevor, and like around August 18th, 20th. Basketball will be the first one because I only participate in outdoor track. I don't run indoor because indoor is when basketball is going on. So I will have to get there. Coach he said he will give us like a week or two to kind of get there and settle in for classes and stuff. And then after that, that's when the basketball workouts start and those take place. And then as of now, what I've been doing to kind of prepare, I've still been in the track mode more. I have a national meet on next weekend in
Nice.
North Carolina. So I've been kind of focusing on that. But at the same time, I still here and there when I get a chance, stay in the gym, stay in rhythm, But also playing two sports, what it taught me the most was like, taking care of your body is really important, like stretching, sauna, ice baths, whatever
Yes.
you got to do. Because there's a lot of wear and tear in your body, like especially trying to manage both. So I put a heavy emphasis on taking care of my body, and it allows me to play the two sports I love to do.
Can't wait, man. I'm gonna be praying the room for you both. Gentlemen, this has been a lot of fun. I knew you both, but I've learned even more about you, man. Noah, you family, man. But again, I'm very proud of you. I tell your mom that, and I'm telling you that right now for everybody when they see this. Trevor, I'm proud of you as well. And we'll be praying and rooting for both of y'all to kill it, to rep the area, to rep your family, and never hold back on what you want to do. You guys, as I mentioned midway through the show, have perspective. Trevor, I'll start with you. When you play sports, it's whatever sport, you got your family and your friends rooting for you. You got whatever student section they rooting for you. On the road or even at home, there might be people hating on you, people looking, and it's tough because you guys give up a lot. You sacrifice. Early mornings, long nights, getting up. Right now, somebody's in front of the game playing 2K or Fortnite, vaping, smoking, hanging out. You guys are locked in mentally, physically, and spiritually. It takes discipline. Um, for the young men that will see this, and I have a good follow, and I do reels and show this, and I got videos from 5 years ago. People still check for. When people see this, Trevor, I'll start with you. What perspective to kind of wrap up this show and then know the same question? Perspective, feedback. I don't really want to say advice you have for the youngins coming up, for people to stay locked in on their goal, not even just the athletic goal. What do you do to keep you locked in, and what should they do? What has helped you, and what perspective have you learned on everything you've been through, good and bad, tough losses to Potomac, great wins at Battlefield? What did you learn about yourself, and what do young men need to do to get to that point to achieve their goals like you have?
Yeah, I would say just being great, every day, trying to get 1% better each day. Having a positive mindset throughout the day. And just waking up and just doing the right things. Like wake up, uh, stretch. Like what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Are you on TikTok or are you stretching, putting
Mm.
water in your body? Me when I wake up, I stretch, pray. Um, so I'm always, praying, staying connected with God. And yeah, just being 1% better each day, eating the right foods, and drinking right, working out, and just not. If you have a dream, I feel like you should go get it. You know what I'm saying, and doing all those things that come with going to get it. It's just not just gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying. You gotta go in and get it and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well said. Well said. Well said. And kudos to you for being locked up with the spiritual realm. That's important. And again, everyone's different, but I believe in that. Um, Same questions for you, Noah. Perspective. What have you learned? How do you get to that point where you are playing two sports in college? How do you stay committed? And what advice do you have for the future, Noah's and Trevor's?
Similar to what Trevor was saying, that was greatly said. Have a routine, stretching. A lot of people overlook that aspect, and it doesn't even take long. Not like you have to sit there for an hour and do all this extra yoga stuff. But even before you go to sleep, if you just take 5 minutes out of your day to stretch, that will literally like improve a lot of. It will make you less sore, more flexible, just all that. Getting the right amount of water is huge. Sleep as well is a great thing. A lot of people like to stay up all night on FaceTime and do all this. And sometimes, you got to make certain sacrifices that not the average person your age has to do. So that's a great part of it. Another great aspect of it, what I would say would be setting goals. That's what I did in both sports. As for basketball, I came in the season, set certain goals, what I wanted to accomplish as an individually, and what I wanted to accomplish as a team. Same thing for track. I know track is a little bit more individually, but I came into the season, set certain goals. And when you set the certain goals, you have to find out what works for you to get to those goals. It might be different, but you just have to when you make a plan and say you want to do something, then you have to go do it. But you have to proceed what it takes to do it.
Yeah, gosh, man, you guys sound like y'all been doing this for 30 years, man. Well said, man. Y'all some great perspective, man. Sometimes you talk to kids offline, you be like, how you get there, man? Just tell them to stay locked in. I'm like, it's not that simple. I need more. Uh, no, you guys have been great, man. I speak for so many people on behalf of your families, fans, Gainesville, other schools, the community. We're very proud of you. And you're part of a special legacy. Very, very few people get a chance to live their dreams, not just academically, but athletically. You both are on that journey and that path to make it happen. On behalf of Vicktory Life, I wish you both success and your future endeavors. I'm only a text or phone call away. You both have great support systems, but if you ever need support from me, I definitely got to get you both and bless you up with some Vicktory Life gear. That's on the horizon too. But I appreciate you both, man. And like I say every episode, make sure you support these young men and young ladies like them that are on the path to achieve their goals. Make sure you continue to subscribe to my channel. Thank you to all the people that support the Vicktory Life movement. Thank you to Noah's family, Trevor's family. I appreciate you guys, all of y'all, for making those sacrifices to make sure these young men are on the right path. It doesn't go without that village. So salute to the Trevor and Noah villages out there. And like I say every episode, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, make sure you have a positive impact. You leave a great legacy. That's Vicktory Life. Thank you, Trevor and Moody. Good luck coming up, man. Keep working hard. Appreciate you both.
So
Appreciate it.